Okay, let's go, guys. Now you can enjoy my voice and my accent and my English knowledge. Sorry for a bit later start, but I have some technical difficulties. If something is missing, if music is too loud or I am too loud or anything is bad, don't forget to write it in chat. I'll try to fix it. And let's start with what it is all about. It is just a short lesson story, I would say, about how people getting evicted, why they are getting evicted, what you or they should do before it happens, how you should act when it happens, how to minimize your losses, and etc. etc. I'll do my best to not miss anything and to answer any questions, if any questions will pop up. But generally I'll just talk. I have keynotes on top left, as you can see, so you can track where I am right now. Let's go. So first moments is disclaimers. I am not professional eviction guy. I did some evictions myself with my friends, but it's not like something we love to do, and it's not like something we are doing professionally. I will avoid making this eviction instruction as much as I can, because I'm not endorsing evictions. I will explain this a bit later. And all this knowledge does not guarantee that you are not getting evicted. It's just recommendations, what you can do, what you can't do, what you should pay attention to, and etc. And you probably notice that I'm not native English speaker, so bear with me. I may struggle with some words and some formulations. Bear with me, that's what I meant. So, first, why evictions is bad? Generally, people tend to say that it's okay to evict people who are not participating in wormhole life, who are not fighting, who are not undocking, etc. etc. Just crabs or industrial guys. But I think any people who live in wormhole does provide some content, does make wormholes alive. These people anyway need to do some logistics, they need to fly some cargo, they need to scan new wormholes, and etc. So anyway, people who are not undocking but living there usually is better than just empty wormhole. So there is no reason to make wormholes empty if you don't need to. Next topic is why people would target you with eviction. And you need to remember that it's usually not about one point, but about multiple factors that sums up to decision to evict you. Sorry for breaks, I'm sipping my tea. And first point is assets. You may have accumulated some treasures, some loot in your citadels, and people scanning your citadel feed, they check if you have, for example, if you have market in citadel, it does mean that with market you have some stock that can be looted. Maybe you have some models for capital production. Capital production can be broken and can be looted again. Maybe you just have a very old citadel that is there for a long time, and if it's old, there is some AFK people who left some assets there that can be looted again. And generally people watching on profit against danger. So if you are not really good in PvP, but your citadel may have a lot of assets, and on killboard it's easy to see that you are flying some fancy ships and etc and dying to NPC, people may target you. Next point, why is for fun? People may just want to try to evict you without being persistent about it, so they just shoot your shield and see what happens. Are you rolling holes? Are you controlling anything? Or maybe they can get in for free for next time. Maybe you'll not have any defense. So it's just trying to get free eviction. But never assume this, because for your sake you better to assume always that it's serious eviction that you need to defend seriously. Some people may just not like you. I mean, maybe you're talking local, not really nice, maybe you're doing some not nice things, and that can lead to your eviction too. I mean, we did a couple evictions just because we have different, let's call it, viewpoints on how to act. By the way, guys, it's really silent in chat. I'm not sure if can you like ping me that you are here, that you are hearing me, that you are understanding what I'm saying, just for sure. So next point is your system. People may not target you, but may want your system for themselves, because your system may have nice size. Some people love small systems, some people love large systems. Maybe it's PI, maybe it's system effects, maybe it's statics, but generally your system may be interesting for someone, so he just gets to after your system, not caring about you at all. And here I should mention what systems let's call popular. It's if you ever try to live in class 6, class 6 is very good farm, and most of class 6 is occupied by someone. So if you try to live there, people will notice really fast and you have really good chances to get evicted. Systems with statics to C6 is almost same, because if you often will roll C6 static, you will have some farmer's attention, and it may lead to eviction too. Systems class 2 with statics to 0 and 5 and 0 and 6 is quite popular among guys who are looking for PvP in null, and there is not many systems of this statics, so they're kind of rare, and it may lead to eviction too. Another point that affects eviction is how easy logistics to your system. For example, if you have static to high class, high to high sec space, it does mean that it's always easy to get to your system if you have control. You don't have to scan long chain, you don't have to fly through low sec, etc, etc. So you just easy to get in, and it does help with eviction, and it's make it easier. So it's make you a better target. When I lived for a couple of months with high sec static, like every month some high sec, how to call it? Not it's better call has them high sec retards. Some high sec people who high sec PvPers, like every month came and told me that they're gonna evict me, they're gonna take my systems, that I should pay them, and etc, etc. But usually nothing happened. But homes with high sec statics may get a lot of attention, so be prepared for it. Magdip, yeah, that's one of the points. It's easier for your friends to come to, or if you have k-space statics. But it's also easier for enemy to get in. So our next point is your reinforce timers. If your reinforce is Nobody wants to wake up in the middle of the night to shoot your citadel. So everybody will look for timers that is in their prime. It may be Euro prime, maybe US prime, etc., but generally you do not want to change, you do not want to have your citadel's reinforced timer different from your usual prime, because you either do not want to wake up in the middle of the night to defend. But some people defend their citadels defend their home by having different citadels with different time zones. So they just make evicting them a bit of pain in question of timers. And last point about your being attractive to being evicted is how often you're doing some PvP. Because if you never undock and never fight, this does mean that you may be easy target. So yeah, I would try to avoid it. I would say I would prefer to undock and fight. It usually makes you less likely, less profitable target, because you may give a fight back. So now we are getting to a part when I explain how you should be prepared. And first point here is you should have a lot of scanners in your home. I mean like 10 scanners. It may be alpha scanners, but they should be able to scan chain. Because as soon as eviction will start, your scanners will get killed, your capsules will get killed, and every attempt to scan chain to get reinforcements may lead to scanner dying, and you'll have no chain to bring new scanners. So you should have like some backups, a lot of backups. Another point is some people, I heard it multiple times, some people in low class systems think that if they will build caps, it will be easier to defend. I mean, they think that capitals is like ultimate weapon, and because nobody else can bring capital in their low class wormhole, they will have a huge advantage. But that's bullshit. Cap does not give a lot of advantage, and it doesn't give advantage at all if you are not good at using it. I mean, if you are using it often, and if you know how to use it, cap will give you advantage. But if you think that it's some wonder waffe that will give you advantage just out of nowhere, if you are not using it at all, it's not. And it's worth to mention that some people will target your wormhole just because you have capitals in low class. I mean, it's always curious to see if people will undock their capital on you. So I would not build caps in low class, but it's up to you. Second, let me check what's it shot. Okay. Another point in preparation is defensive doctrine. You should have ships that you can give out and you can undock. The ships should be easy to fly, and they should not require a lot of skill points, and you should have some stock of them. Because if you call for your friends and they will get there on shuttles, you have to give out ships, because usually it's quite hard to get real fleets in hull that is getting hull controlled. We'll get to hull control a bit later. So you should think about your defensive doctrine before you have to defend, not during defense. About using citadels. Some people think that citadel can defend something, can defend itself, but that's not a point too. I mean, citadel is perfect assist member of fleet. Citadels, usually people use jumps and neutralizers on citadel, and if you have fleet and you are carefully using citadel, it will work well. But if you expect just citadel without fleet to kill anything, it's a bad idea, because I mean any competent group will kill any citadel with like 5 people, 6 people. It's not a threat for people who come after you. One of the last points of preparations is having freighters or DSTs in wormhole. We will talk about it a bit later too, why you need them, but generally it's for saving your assets. And last point is bosses. Usually you get evicted, people who will evict you will set up their boss. And if you want to be really careful about your wormhole, you can set up bosses on every moon and basically decline any other people setting up their bosses, so they'll have to shoot it. And shooting bosses is pain in the ass. But generally setting up that much bosses is pain in the ass too, so I usually do not bother. And so, how attack will happen? First, people need to shoot your shield of your structures. Usually it happens on Thursdays. Why Thursdays? Because if shield is on Thursday, then second timer will be on Friday or Saturday, and last timer will be on Saturday or on Sunday. So it's weekend deal, and that's why. Obviously, if you see new boss or new citadel, you always expect that you are getting evicted. Don't think that people just want to be your neighbor. I mean, it's 95% of time new structure in your wormhole is eviction. And people who are evicting you will aim at your capsules as first priority, so that it's being streamed. Yeah, it's being streamed on Thursday. Would be good to shoot someone, just for example. But okay, so the first priority for Victor is shooting your capsules. And here is a good question: should you try to defend your shield? Because on one side, if you manage to defend your shield, and if your shield stays intact on Thursday, it's your evictor did not put a lot of effort yet, and maybe he can choose to evict someone else just because you managed to defend. But if he started shooting and you are not prepared well, and you will lose a lot of ships and capsules, it will be a huge disadvantage during further eviction if you did not manage to defend. Enemy hull control level. Okay, so there is a thing called hull control. I hope everybody knows what it is, but generally it's control upon your statics. Upon your random hulls, people who evict you will want to have chain to K-space and do not want you to have chain to K-space. So they will deny you getting chain, they will roll out your scanners, and etc, etc. Some people are pretty chill about evictions. I mean, they will shoot your shield and just let you do whatever you want, bring whatever reinforcements that you want. Some people will crit your statics, maybe roll your scanners, maybe have some group to defend if you get reinforcements. And some people may control really seriously during all 24 hours. Maybe they will block even frigate holes. There is ways to not allow even shuttles in wormhole. So, and this level may change. I mean, people may not control your own shield reinforcement, but may start controlling entrance after armor. How you should take control. That's very important part. If you have enough ships in wormhole to try to take control, you choose time when evictors does not have a lot of people online and should not be ready. You should check the primes on killbot and etc. You are getting your reinforcement group ready in case base. They should be ready to move, they should be ready to jump. And you get your fleet, you roll your critted static, you shoot everybody who tries to deny you controlling this static. You scanning chain to case space as soon as possible, while your evictors are pinging for fleet, pinging for taking back control. And this is basically a race. So will your reinforcement get to your hole? Will you find chain fast enough? And will your reinforcement get there fast enough? Or will evictors take control from you and shoot your capsules and etc, etc. So it's pretty important if you're taking control to succeed. And another thing you can attempt, people can try to roll to you from outside. For example, if you live in C5, your friends may roll C5 static in their system, and they will have a chance to get random wormhole, random static to your system. But this chance is like 1 of 500, so I would not say that it's efficient way of getting reinforcements, but you may try. Next point is butphoning. So if you can bring people, should you bring them? And there is pros and cons about it, because if you on your shield timer you butphone and for armor timer you bring like 50 people, guys who evict you may not come for armor timer, but they will know that you want to defend it, and they may come next week, reinforce your shield again, and control holes enough to not give you a chance to get your reinforcements there again. So basically, by bringing too much to defend, you may show that you have something of value in your wormhole. And usually people who you butphone, they will just come for timer and get away. So it's not something that you can rely on always. That's why I would generally avoid butphones. And important point about butphones: if you call someone for help, please provide all info. Tell what you have in your wormhole, what statics you have, what timers you have on your citadels, exact timers, what your enemy brought, what is levels of control. Do not force your friend to ask everything, because there is a lot of info you can provide. Just provide it from start. It will make it easier for everybody. So you managed to win whole control, you managed to brought reinforcements, you won basically. Maybe you won even one timer and your citadel is repaired. Should you just relax and do nothing? No, you shouldn't. You should clean everything. Clean bosses, clean citadels, keep controlling wormholes, because your enemy may bring more reinforcements. They may butphone their friends to reinforce you again, to evict you, because they see that there's something of value, something you're defending. So do not relax even if you defend one timer. Even if everything is repaired, you're still kind of in danger, and it's a good idea to have control over statics, have everything rolled and etc. If you are not winning, and you are not having a chance to win as you think, you can all the jump freighters, and not jump freighters, all the freighters and DSTs I mentioned before. You just take all your assets, put it in your freighter, seed character in this freighter, and log it off. So you're just saving your assets. But it's worth mentioning. Some people think that the citadel explodes. A loot is. I disagree. That bringing friends to defend implies that you have a lot of stuff to protect. Yes, that's the point, Mogdeep. I just mean that if you are bringing 30-50 people, you may defend one timer, but if evictors would want to kill you again, to evict you again, they will know what you can bring, and they will just put more effort to controlling wormholes, to hold control, and basically they can just deny you bringing reinforcements. So it's not a card you can always play. Some people who logged off in freighters think that after Citadel exploded and everything is looted, like 20 minutes after they can log in and cruise to Caspace. No, you can cruise to kill bots. I mean, people who are doing evictions professionally may camp your wormhole for weeks. They know point where your freighter will be, and they will just have a little fleet, saber, on second window, and as soon as your freighter is logged in, they will kill it and loot it. So, first, you do not want to log in at least couple of days, maybe couple of weeks after your citadel explodes. Second, if you want to log in your freighter, you find a chain to K-space. Second, you bring fleet that can fight. And when you have a chain and you have fleet in system, then you log in your freighter and cruise to K-space. Next point. If you have some assets that does not fit your freighter, usually it's ships because ships are big, you can self-destruct them on undock. I'm not endorsing it, but I mean, if guys bring blobs that you can't fight, why not deny them loot? But keep in mind that self-destructing on undock, self-destruct time does not allow you to be tethered. So you'll have to, it's gonna be a little tricky, but usually people manage to explode their ships and get insurance. It's another way to deny evictors content. And last moment, if you decided to fight till the end, it's usually a good idea to fight in battleships, because battleships have frigates that can allow you to escape after being killed and allow you to reship another battleship. And if you are trying to defend on capitals, you may want to have shuttles in it. So before dying, you throw shuttles in space and try to jump into shuttle, and you maybe will have chance to reship again. But usually people who evict you are good at killing capsules. And last point. I mean, I said a lot about evictions, and yes, evictions happen, but do not take it too seriously. I mean, everybody get evicted eventually. If you live in wormhole, usually you pay for your infrastructure in a couple of days, maybe in a week. I mean, wormholes is pretty profitable. It's not the end of the world if you get evicted. I mean, did you have fun? Did you have ISK? Did you have PvP? It's worth it. You even if evicted after months, after a year in wormhole, you just get new one. It's not end of the world. It's not something really bad. It's frustrating, I understand, but everybody gets evicted. And there is a good example of it, as it was Hard Knocks. They lived for... it was one of the biggest wormhole collectives. And eventually some guys from Initiative, some null block, spent a couple of months bringing capitals in their home and exploded their citadel. So I mean, biggest and meanest guys get evicted eventually. So nobody is safe from it, and it's not something bad, not something you should be scared of. And last important point, don't forget that it is just a game, and your enemy is not your enemy but your game partner. There is no reason to shit talk in local, there is no reason to be angry. Just be calm, enjoy, it's fun, you'll get another wormhole. And there was Magdip, yeah, there was Ravens, and there was, if I recall correctly, like 700 people. So, no hard feelings, no shit talk. And just be nice, because another point to be nice, if you are not nice during eviction, it may be not your last eviction. In the hell is that? I mean, they're trying to be alive, but they're not. Rito reminds me, says that if you're suiciding ships on Undock, you can get MGD from MGDesi and you can get killed. But again, if you see MGDesi on discount, you can just dock back. I said it's tricky, but it can be done. It's not that hard. So guys, that's all that I wanted to say. And now if you have any questions, if you have something I missed, or if I was not clear enough about something, I am listening. McDeep, maybe. Okay, I guess I was clear enough, and there's no questions. Thank you for coming, guys. Thank you for joining me in this experiment. I hope you liked it. I hope that it was interesting and educational. Don't forget to provide some feedback in memorable eviction. Offense or defense? Make deep. There is a couple evictions that was recent evictions that was fun and that was memorable, and both of them maybe will make to another short stream. One was guys who was really rude in local. It did not start as eviction, but after some communication with them it gets to be eviction, and I have some videos of this. I may tell the story. Another fun one is guys from Zarna Campania. We found their eviction and decided to, let's call it, join, but generally we killed everyone. We and I have some fun fights from there. So I guess it will be just two separate stories that will be there later if streams will work, if people will watch this and give some positive feedback. So again, thank you guys for coming. What would you say the difference in skill set that is needed to excel at formal eviction offense versus what is needed to excel at defense? Strongest defense. Skill set is generally you should know mechanics, how this works, how whole control works, how people doorstop, how people roll, what people primes, what you can get out of killbot. So generally, to be good defender, you should try offense a couple of times, and it's not that there is some little tricks that you may ask other people and you may see for yourselves if you try. And best defense that I've seen, it was funny manner, because like month ago, maybe 2 months ago, we rolled in static and seen that there is citadels in timers and there is no people, so we took control and waited for timer. I mean, we had pretty decent fleet for our size, like 10 to 15 people. We have capital on hold, on wormhole, that we could drop, and a citadel, I can't remember if it was 40 Zar or Fastrahos, but it has 0 in local, in structure. So we controlled holes, rolled everything, and waited for timer. And like when timer came, we started shooting citadel, and number on citadel suddenly rises from 0 to like 55. We dashed a bit to the side to see what happened, and happened on dock of like 35 to 40 paladins and some support, Nestos, Jama, and etc. So we looked at it, said, guys, you maybe should tell us in chat that we shouldn't wait. Leon wave with our hands and get out. So best defense is having forces to defend. I don't know if they always have 50 paladins, 30 paladins, 40 paladins, or they brought it through not controlled holes, but that was pretty efficient against some random dudes like us. Okay, we will still keep it short. Thank you for questions, guys. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope it was entertaining, at least. Don't forget to give feedback in comments. I would really appreciate it. I'm curious how easy to understand me on English, how hard it was to staying with me. And generally, what you think about streams, about stories, about if, it's generally like podcasts. Maybe you like it, maybe you not. Give feedback. And push like, and subscribe, and etc, etc. Thank you guys. See you later. Bye.